What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants. No hate. Listen. Joseph Parker, as we know, was supposed to be fighting Daniel Dubois, who is said to be ill. I forgot what I was watching, Fight Hype or Seconds Out, whatever it was. Some one of these channels where Johnny Nelson was one of the comment guys talking, and the other guy said that Frank Warren confirmed that Daniel Dubois has a virus. Now, I'm thinking to myself, okay, Daniel Dubois, he's out. And I'm saying, I haven't heard anything other than him supposed to be saying that he feels sick, and that Frank Warren claimed that it was a virus. At least for that. Now, things do happen. Let's not play stupid. It's disappointing when you want to see something, then it doesn't happen. And then it's just one thing after another. I get that as well. But let me say this. I listen to that, and then I think about Floyd Schofield's situation, where it was just multiple crazy, ridiculous claims, and all of this talk about having proof and evidence, but haven't presented a damn thing. You know, I talked about that already. But, you know, here is a situation where Dubois said to be sick, and that's all we heard. He was sick, and that's the end of it. Okay. Martin Bakoloe steps in. Man, you know, Joseph Parker just can't get a break, man. And, I mean, like, let's look at, for example, Joseph Parker had 3 quiet fights. Was on a winning streak. And I remember out of those 3 fights that he had before he got to Wilder, I remember Junior Fa being the most recent that I have remembered. And Joseph Parker hadn't looked like the same fighter. He himself said he hadn't looked like the same fighter. He was supposed to be a sacrificial lamb for Deontay Wilder. Same night, as you guys know, Anthony Joshua fought Otto Wallin, and pretty much the stipulation was both of them, AJ and Wilder, had to win for them to fight for this $50 million apiece against each other. And I remember people saying, if the fight doesn't happen, it's going to be because of AJ. Wallin was the favorite against AJ. AJ went in there and dominated. Joseph Parker went in there and was supposed to be basically, hey, here's a guy with respect on his name. Wilder's going to knock him out. Then we're going to get Anthony Joshua versus Wilder. But instead what happens is Wallin got decimated by AJ. Parker went in there and pretty much broke down and destroyed Deontay Wilder. But what happens? The next fight isn't Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker. They want to make a big catch grab fight. And what do? They go out, they get Francis Ngannou and put him in there against Anthony Joshua. Okay. Joseph Parker wins the fight. But then Turki Al-Sheikh, he didn't want to bring Wilder right back because of the way Wilder looked. And what happens? Zhang talks about signing the contract. He went live and talked about it and was encouraging Wilder to just take the fight. Wilder doesn't take the fight. He hesitates. He waits. Months later, finally, he takes the fight. He goes and gets destroyed and gets stopped in 4 rounds by Zhang. And what do? They try to offer Wilder another fight for a championship at Bridgerweight. Again, ignoring Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker steps in. He fights Zhang. He gets the win over Zhang. Yet 3, 4, 5 different times they approach Wilder to try to get Wilder into a fight after losing. after losing 2 back-to-back fights. Finally, Joseph Parker gets the shot against Dubois. And now Dubois sick. Bakoloe steps in. People can talk all the shit they want, but I got a lot of respect for Joseph Parker. Because one, Joseph Parker could easily say, nah, since Bakoloe, since Dubois is sick, and that's the guy I'm supposed to be fighting, then there's no opponent for me then. I'm pulling out. When Dubois comes back, when he's ready, then we'll do it again. Then we'll do it. Nah, he's not fucking doing all this training for nothing. He's fighting against Bakoloe. You gotta respect that, man. You gotta respect it. That's what fighters do. But at the same time, he knows if he's to lose this fight, they're not gonna get he's not gonna get their good graces, and all of a sudden he's in a title fight. That's not how that's gonna go. Eddie Hearn already spoke and said that the idea for AJ from now until he retires is he wants championship fights. You can't look at what AJ contributed to the sport. You can't look at his track record and what he's done, and there's nobody more deserving in terms of favoritism, because that's all that shit is. You understand what I mean? You can't overlook AJ's accomplishments and what he's done. There's been plenty of people where they talk about what they've done for the sport, and AJ's another contributor, a huge contributor, but at the same time, he's not more deserving than Joseph Parker. I don't like the skip of the line thing, but I understand that it's going to happen and they're going to show favoritism. It's going to happen. They've been doing it. And my thing is, AJ just got stopped by Dubois. Now, how the fuck do you take AJ and say, okay, we'll put AJ in there against the winner of Parker and Bakoloe? The fuck do you mean? So, how many more times does Parker have to just keep fighting everybody before he finally gets, And I'm listen, man. I don't know. Until I hear anything different, okay, Parker, Dubois says he's sick, whatever, and that's why he's not in the fight. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. And like I said, I'm not gonna start creating something. I'm not looking to make anything up. He's out. But Bakoloe, here's the thing with Bakoloe. If Bakoloe is in shape and he's ready, he accepted the fight, so whatever the outcome, is going to be what it's going to be. But for Bakoloe, he took this fight, he steps up. If he wins, if he beats Parker, I don't know if Dubois really wants to fight Bakoloe. That's the fight, if you guys remember, that's the fight I said I would like to see. Like, Parker has his fight with he fought Dillian White, he's fought against AJ, like he's been around, he's fought, he's one of the respectable guys in the sport. And I'm saying for Dubois, he can set his own trend, he can have his own feud. And Bakoloe was the name that I said it will be a good test for him to fight Bakoloe. Now, with that being said, if Parker does win, why does Parker have to fight AJ again? Now, I'm just saying, like, I don't know what it is, man, but it's almost like they don't want Parker to be champion. Somehow he just keep having to jump hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. And, like I'm saying, man, I don't feel like AJ's more deserving. Now, if AJ is to beat him, and this is the shitty part about it, is because let's look at how it is. If Dubois doesn't get sick, well, Parker has his chance to fight him, finally. Now, all of a sudden, he has to go through more hurdles, and if he loses, then it's like, oh, well, you should have won. I mean, that's about it, right? So, I don't know, man. It's just something with Parker, man. Like, this dude is just cursed when it comes to this championship run, this second run to get to a championship fight. But, hey, it is what it is, man. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And, the fight itself, this is Martin Bakole's chance to show, where he stands. And if Martin Bakoloe goes in there and wins this fight, he's one of the names that nobody's calling his name out. And like I said before, man, All this shit that he says that he done to people, none of these motherfuckers are saying that's bullshit. Just saying, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. But if he's in shape already and he's really been on top of his game, then we'll see. We'll see. But once again, he accepted the fight. So it is what it is. I respect the fact that they got him on his card because he's one of the guys I said, man, it's something about, it's like what I see. I feel like these promoters, these guys get together and they have certain fights that they want to see and they plan out in their heads. And then all of a sudden, the guys that they want to see win lose. So it's like they try to avoid putting certain fighters in that equation because they feel like this guy may possibly beat this guy. So I don't know, man. We just have to wait and see the way things go. But yeah, man, I feel like there's certain fighters that they try to get rid of. They don't want them in that equation because they feel like, man, he's going to fuck around and mess the money up. Because you have a guy that's dangerous, but he's not a big draw. He's not he's not who they're looking for. And truthfully, it's just, I don't know, like Joseph Parker, I don't know, man. He's doing what other people don't want to do. And that's going in and fight the very top guys. And if Joseph Parker would have decided to not fight, I wouldn't have lost any respect for him because, these guys know that even though they don't come to lose, they know it's a possibility that they can. And then guess what? Now you just blew your shot at the title once again. And they would much rather, see a guy with a bigger profile, get that spot. We have the same thing in team sports. I remember one time, it was a while ago, but I remember a couple of times I remember seeing this situation. And one time particularly, like when the Spurs had beat the Lakers. And the Spurs went to the championships and they won it. And I remember before the series started, like the night of game one, had people sitting around at the panel and they were, well, the Lakers, you know what I mean? The franchise has X amount of, championships and this and that, and, and this and this, as if, like, the Spurs shouldn't be there. Who cares about the Lakers, them having more championships as a franchise? At the end of the day, they lost to the Spurs. The Spurs got there, and the Spurs, they won. So, but it's like the favoritism is there, like it's this whole who people would rather have seen. Well, it doesn't matter who people would rather have seen, So to say that the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals would have been more impressive in terms of the numbers and the viewership based on if the Lakers would have got there instead of the Spurs, well, they lost to the Spurs. So it's as simple as that. So the team that you call boring somehow beat the explosive Lakers. So, what is your point? And this is how I feel like with Joseph Parker, man. It's like they look at him and say, okay, the guy's winning, but he's not the guy that we want there, man. So I'm not stupid, man. AJ's the guy that I want to see beat everybody, but I'm saying it to me, it's like that, look, AJ losing to Dubois, lost to a guy that's, making his mark, and he had, a title, and AJ lost. But due to star power, AJ is in a position where even now he has to win the fight, regardless to the favoritism, he has to win it, but he's in a position of, I can get the big fights. I'm a name people want to fight because, hey, even for people that feel like AJ's not the same, that's an extra reason for them to fight him. But should he win, it's like, okay, my thing is this. If it take you 7 fights to get to a championship and take this guy 2 fights, that shit is unfair. That's my point. I just feel like the deck just keeps getting stacked up against Joseph Parker. But, Joseph Parker will probably be one of those fighters that is more respected or more appreciated after he's gone. Depends. Especially if he can get some more big wins under his belt before he retires. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to make a separate video for this. I'm just going to say this in this video and close out. Caballero versus Zhang. I don't know. I feel like the style that Caballero is going to have to fight against Zhang is to try to pressure Zhang and make Zhang work hard. I don't know if Caballero got the type of firepower he needs to get inside and really do any damage. If he can get past that that reach and that power of Zhang? I don't know. We do know that when Zhang gets tired, he gets tired. And we'll see how things go. I don't know. And at Zhang's age right now, I just, it's like, I don't know what Zhang is going to show up. I just don't know. You know, I don't know. If he stays at long range and Caballero is not able to get inside and make Zhang work, Zhang's pretty much probably going to pick him apart from the outside. Now, the thing with Zhang, like I said, if his gas tank, if he tanks out, Caballero might be able to come back. It's just like with Joseph Parker. He pretty much was kicking Joseph Parker's ass, and you can see who the better fighter was. But once he got tired, that was it. And Joseph Parker just kept coming, wouldn't give up. So, you know, that's this position with Caballero. I feel like he needs to, you know, box, use angles, but he got to get inside and smother dude. He can't let him get off. He's gonna, you know, I don't want to see one of them fights, man, where they're grabbing every fucking 5 seconds. But I mean, he's gonna have to me, make Zhang work more than what he wants to. And like I said, I don't know if he got the firepower to get in there and really make it effective. But we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes a fight goes completely different. But looking at both guys, you know, if Zhang gets to stay on the outside and keep that jab in his face and work off his power shots, and if he got Caballero going backwards, Zhang will probably pick him apart. If Caballero is able to get in the inside and make Zhang work, you know, get him tired, that's pretty much that's like the best bet for him to get the win, you know. But we'll see. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.